So myself and maybe some of you watching have been playing Fusion World since the beginning of set 1 and have been playing for an entire year now at this point as we reach the first year anniversary. So what I want to do is take a look back and look at all the secret rares that have been released during the first year of Fusion World's existence and just rank them in a tier list from best to worst. Now I'm going to be ranking these based on the current meta and not on how good they were when they came out. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and also subscribing to the channel. Also, if you are subscribed, make sure your notification is turned on so you are notified when I do drop some more content. So, we're going to start this tier list. We're going to start with the set 1 secret rares, which were Gohan and UI Goku, the OG UI Goku. Gohan, I'm actually going to put in C tier, I believe. Now, if you don't know, Gohan is a 7 energy. I believe it's a 40k no, I think it's a 50k attacker, which at the time was the biggest attack you could get, was 50k, and it was the only card to be able to do it. On play, you could discard a card, choose all cards that cost 5 or less, and KO them. That was literally the effect. But you can't attack the turn you use the ability, right? So if you play it and use the ability, you can't attack. If you play it and you don't use the ability, then you can just swing for 50. I'll put it C, even at the time, when set 1 came out, it was good. It was one of the few ways Green had at controlling the board, so it was necessary. But discarding the card to do it wasn't always the greatest. You would probably only play like 2 of these, right? I think playing Android 16 and 17 were a bit better overall, because there's never like a whole heap of cards that you want to get rid of. I mean, now we have Angel Q, so maybe, but even in the presence of Angel Q, Green still doesn't really run this card. So I think C is fine. I'm going to put UI Goku in D. I think right now I should say that I'm basing my judgment on the current meta right now in FBO5 and not at the time when it came out. And obviously every set will continue to update the secret rares on this list. But Goku, I'm putting down here, this card never sees play at all. You can make a case for a green deck running 1 copy of Gohan, depending on the meta. Right, even now there's a lot of like swarm like boards. You can make a case for it even though people don't really play it. UI doesn't see play at all. Maybe because of another card that's kind of power crept it, which we'll get to later. Nudge nudge, wink wink. But as of now, yeah, UI Goku, this secret rare doesn't see play. It was a 4-cost 35k attack, I believe. I'm saying all this off the top of my head, so my apologies if I misspeak on the details on certain cards. But yeah, 4 energy, 35k body. On play, it would minus a card 15k. And if it was able to attack a battle card and KO it, UI Goku will automatically take a life from your opponent. Right? So at the time it was quite good. You will just have this big advantage over a card that you swing into and just minus 1 life for free. Obviously nowadays with the amount of removal that you have, getting rid of a 4-cost card is not difficult at all for most decks. I think every color has a good, effective way to get rid of a card like this. So you only get the value of this for maybe 1 turn. And if for whatever reason they block that attack, then you didn't really... I mean, you could say that they dumped cards to block the attack. I think nowadays in FBO5, a lot of decks are able to generate such a big hand size that dumping a super combo +1 or something to stop this 1 attack is not a difficult decision for most decks to make. And so yeah, this card hasn't seen play. It's okay as a card, but there are better finishers in the game right now. And even as minus 15, I mean, I'm mixing my words. The SR Gohan from set 2, I believe does better, is a better card than the secret rare. Right, you minus 15k all the same. Obviously his attack is weaker, but being able to, the Gohan can self-awaken, and yeah, I think it's a slightly better card. But who knows, maybe there's a meta where this Goku actually sees its value like goes up and ends up like B tier or something. But for now, leaving it down here. Next we move on to set 2, where we got Vegito and Frieza. Now both of these cards are actually quite good. I'm actually going to put both of these in A. Despite both of them being from set 2, they still have value right now. Frieza a little less than Vegito, I would say, but it's very similar. The decks that run these cards will probably run 2, maybe they push 3. I'll probably give Vegito the edge, mainly because it has combo power and can swing twice. They can both remove a card, I put in quotations. Frieza can outright KO a card, whereas Vegito will just bounce it. But Frieza does have the ability to make any card your opponent plays that costs 5 or more, and just puts it in rest mode. Obviously right now we have a lot of decks that run like lower cards, right? Red has Glorio, Super Buu is another top deck that has a lot of like Buff Buu, Buuhan, a lot of those cards which are 3 costs. Obviously it does affect Kid Buu, that is a thing. And then we have, who else do we have? Blues, I think even Blues run a lot of low cost cards as well. You have some big ones, Goku Black is ran a lot nowadays, Vegito. Even if we look at the best blue deck, which I think is Angel Q right now, or let's say the top 2. Angel Q and Vegito I think are the 2 best blue decks right now. Angel Q, most of the cards don't even go above 5 energy, so Frieza's useless. And then Vegito, their best finisher is the double strike combo with the 3 cost Goku and then the 2 cost Vegeta, which again, Frieza doesn't affect. So yeah, that's why I'll give Vegito the edge in this one. But they're both great cards. Moving on to set 3, we were introduced to Gohan and Goku. Gohan, I'm going to put, in fact no, I'm moving you up, I think, and I'm putting Gohan here and see. Yeah, I actually think I am. Gohan, if you don't know, it's 2 energy, 20k power. On your turn, if you're at 8 energy, your leader gets 20k power. And when attacking, you can spend 2 energy and take the top card of your deck and add it to your energy. I'm not sure if it's in rest mode or if it's active. No, I think it's rest mode. I believe it's rest mode. Now, the only deck that used this card was Piccolo. And unfortunately, Piccolo, this is like a win more card in the Piccolo deck. Right? Great, you get this big swing that most decks won't be able to spend the resources to block. However, Piccolo's main problem is defense right now. This card doesn't help them defensively. And this card is at its most powerful once you hit 8 energy. If you don't hit 8 energy, this card is not great. And it's a zero combo. I feel like this card should have combo power attached to it. It being a 0 combo means that it's just sitting in your hand until you reach close to 8 energy so you can play it. If you play this at 2, or let's say you play this when you have 4 energy, you play this for 2, and then you want to swing to ramp 1, okay, that's great, but you're losing it next turn and there's no way to recycle this card as of yet. If there was a way to recycle this card, I think this card's value will go up to maybe B tier, maybe even low A. But for now, that's why I'm keeping it. Goku, Goku can go here, A tier. It's a great value card. Any mid-range black deck is using Goku, right? For those that don't know, it's a 30k attacker or 30k power card for 4 energy. And when you attack, you generate an energy marker. And then at the end of the turn, if you use the energy marker, this Goku will draw you 1 card. So yeah, it's just a great value tool. Obviously in black, energy markers are really important. You have a lot of different cards that synergize with the fact you can generate your own energy marker. And so it's a good card. It's a good card. Is it as impactful as these 2? I would say no. Maybe. I mean, I think all of these can be interchanged. I think you could put Goku here. It really doesn't matter. We'll just leave it like this for now. But I think you can interchange these. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not too sure. But yeah, definitely deserving of an A rank. Next we have set 4, where we got UI Goku and another Vegito, Super Vegito. Now, in fact, no, let's just do UI. I think UI Goku is the best secret rare right now. Its ability to protect your leader and also control the board at the same time is actually quite ridiculous. The turn you play UI, you've turned what was a losing game into being able to stabilize, right? Red's control decks love this card. It's just so good at helping you stabilize the board. And then God forbid you play a second one the following turn, you're more or less going to win that game if you're able to do that. If you can chain 2 or 3 UI Gokus back to back to back, it's so crippling to your opponent. There's like not much they can do, right? If you don't know, Goku is a 6 cost or 6 energy, 40k power card. On play until the end of your opponent's next turn. it effectively is a free block, basically. You're able to block any attack for free or negate the attack, and then when attacking, minus 20k from all cards on your opponent's side. Especially in this current meta, it's more or less a board wipe, right? Not a complete board wipe because you have a lot of 25k attacks, but if you swing this into, let's say, a 30k card or even a 40k card, with this effect, you're asking your opponent to spend a super combo +1 just to keep it alive, and the card stays at 20k for the rest of that attacking turn. So now you're going to swing your leader or any other cards you have in play as well, and you're just forcing your opponent to either let it go or just dump a whole bunch of cards out of their hand, and dump a whole lot of resource just to keep your board alive. So yeah, UI Goku, personally the best secret rare that they've released. We have Vegito. I will put Vegito can go here as well, next to the set 2 Vegito. It's on the same level as the rest, I think. 6 energy, 40k power, can swing twice, just like the set 2 Vegito. Just that when this card untaps itself, it can bounce any card. There's no restriction, compared to set 2, which is 5 or less. But you do have to dump 5 cards from your deck to your drop when you do it. It also has another ability. Now, in Fusion World, if anyone doesn't know, once you hit 0 cards, you automatically lose the game. Now, this Vegito prevents that with a permanent effect. When you hit 0 cards, you don't lose. And not only that, it will also give itself 10k power. I think it's permanently, right? Yeah, it's permanent 10k. So it becomes a 50k, which can be useful as a finisher. I think right now, I mean, when this came out, obviously is when we had Gohan, and Gohan isn't, when it came out, it wasn't great, and it's still not a great deck. Now Vegito is kind of taking that role of what Gohan wanted to be. And even in Vegito decks, you're not really running this secret rare. You're running this secret, the set 2 secret rare, and then they're running like Goku Black as well as their big attack cards, rather than the secret rare set 4 Vegito. Some decks might run 1 copy. Honestly, it doesn't see as much play compared to the rest. Maybe for that reason, it should sit at the bottom of A tier. Like, the effect is great, what it's able to do is great. Now, I couldn't put this here with B, with Gohan, no way. All it takes is a few support cards, especially for Gohan, for the Gohan deck, to bring this back into meta. But for right now, I think bottom of A tier is fine. In fact, let's do like this. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's the right play. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it. Okay. And finally, we have the set 5 secret rares, Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza. I'm actually going to put, I think both of these are actually very strong cards. There's quite a few yellow decks playing Full Power Frieza. 4 energy card, 30k attack. It has barrier, so your opponent's never going to get rid of this card. Ever. Until they release cards that can like board wipe without choosing the card, right? Right now, there's only 2 cards in Fusion World that can board wipe. That's Zeno, and actually this secret rare Gohan. Obviously, Zeno doesn't have a cost limit attached to him. The problem is, both of these cards in their text, it says choose. And the definition of barrier is that a card that has barrier cannot be chosen. So because of that, board wipe abilities like Zeno and like this Goku don't work on barrier units. But I'm sure in the future we'll get cards that bypass that and then just say, I don't know, bottom deck all cards in your opponent's battle area or something like that. And yeah, that will get around it. But yeah, because of Wording, there's no way to interact with Frieza right now. When this card attacks, you can spend 2 energy and place a card that costs 5 or less in your opponent's drop. This effect was made specifically for Jiren, the full cost Jiren card. I'm 99.9% sure about that. It's a really good effect. It's a strong card. I think most yellow decks are using it. Janemba definitely. I've seen yellow Vegeta use it. I've seen even Super Buu use this card. I think it's best used in Janemba, but yeah, quite a few yellow decks are using it. And then Namek Goku I'm actually going to put next to it over here. I think it's slightly weaker than Frieza. Is it? No, I don't think it's weaker per se. I think they're the same strength, I would say. You can interchange them. You can make an argument for either. Goku is 7 energy, 45k, double strike. If your life is at 2, however, it will reduce its cost by 4, becoming a 3 energy play, right? Obviously, this is meant for the Namek Goku deck, but I've seen this used in androids. In fact, I think you can use this in any green deck. I think this is useful in any green deck, not just Nameku. And it's a very, very good double strike card. So yeah, I think it's as good as Frieza. I think it's definitely better than these three here. I mean, they're all fairly, you know, similar in range, but yeah, I think that's why I'm going to leave him. So yeah, that is our first secret rare tier list for FB05. Obviously, we'll do this every set and just update it with the new secret rares as we go on. I thought this would be kind of fun to just look at how well the secret rares have done over the course of the year. The most surprising thing is that set 2 Vegito and Frieza is still very valuable cards, even in the meta right now. And yeah, I think this can be useful for maybe newer players. Maybe it's like, oh, what secret rare should I choose with the secret rare wild card? If you still haven't used that yet, and you started during the 1 year anniversary, and you're still waiting to see, this may give some ideas into which ones you want to go for. So yeah, those are my thoughts. This is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this one, consider leaving a like, also subscribing to the channel, and yeah, leave a comment on how well I did for this list. If there were any changes you were going to make, what would they be? Yeah, but I think I like where this is. I think these three here, Vegito, Frieza, and Goku, can be interchanged. But I'm more inclined to say that Full Power Frieza and Namek Goku are just slightly better than these three. But they're very close, I would say. But yeah, regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.